they find out about us? This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus! We gotta get out of here. We gotta get somewhere where there's some other people. We better take some food. I'll see if I can find some.
Well, what's happening? What's happening?
They're smashing all my headlights, man! 2 of them. There are 2 of them out there. Have you seen any more on here? I can handle those.
I don't know.
Look, I know you're afraid.
I don't know. I don't know. What's happening?
They know we're in here now. We gotta get some lights on in this house. Why don't you see if you can go find some wood or some boards? Something over there by the fireplace. Something to nail this place up. Look, goddammit! Look, I know you're afraid, but we have to try to board this place up tight. I'm gonna go board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we have to work together. We have to help you here. Now, I want you to go find some wood so we can board this place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay? Music box, please! I've got that room pretty secure. If we have to, we can come in here and reinforce this door. It won't be long before those things pound their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's Diner? Anyway, that's where I found the truck out there. Here, I want you to pick out the biggest nails you can find. There's a radio in that truck. I jumped in to listen to it, but a big gasoline truck came screaming down the road. There must have been about 10 or 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. Those things were catching up to it. One right across the road. I slammed on my bracelet to keep from hitting it myself. Went right through a guardrail, I guess. I guess the driver must have cut off the road. There's a gas station over by Beekman's. Went right through a billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it was like a moving bonfire. I didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. I could still hear the man screaming. These things just backed away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone that could help me. And that's when I noticed the entire place had been encircled. and I realized I was alone. 50 or 60 of those things were just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive out, I just plowed right through them. They didn't move, they didn't run. They just stood there staring at me. I just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We had gone to the cemetery, Johnny and me. We'd gone to lay a wreath on my father's grave. And Johnny asked me, do you have any more candy, Barbara? And there wasn't any more. It's hot in here. It's so hot. And then he said, oh, it's so late. And I said, well, wouldn't it be so late if you'd gotten up earlier? And then he said, are you afraid, Barbara? I started laughing. I said, of course I'm not afraid. And then this man started walking down the road. He came slowly, and Johnny laughed, and he took off running. And I went up to the man, and I started to say, good evening.
I think you just calm down.
And then he grabbed at me. He grabbed me, and he started ripping at me,
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I screamed, and Johnny, help me! And he came running back, and he fought the man, and I was so scared, I ran, and Johnny's still out there. We have to go get Johnny. We have to go get my mother. My mother's still out there. Please, listen, we have to go get my brother.
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
You don't understand. He's alone.
Your brother is dead.
No, my brother is not dead. No.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of this crisis, which is even now developing, this station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pulling their resources through an emergency effort hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified attacks. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs, with no apparent motive or reason for the fighting. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We now have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being grotesque. So at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally flooded with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Erie, along with the governors of certain eastern and midwestern states, indicate that the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened yet. The only other information that reporters have been able to obtain from official sources is a warning for all citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined, and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and television for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their place of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urgent and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic drivers attempting to get home or flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time, is simply to stay put wherever you are.
I found a gun and some bullets up there. Oh, and these. This place is boarded up pretty solid now. We're gonna be all right for a while. There's a gun, bullets, food, and a radio. Sooner or later, someone's bound to come and get us out. Look, I don't know if you're hearing me, but I'm going upstairs. If anything were to try to get in here, I can hear from up there. I'll be down to take care of it. But you'll be all right for now, okay? I'll be back to reinforce the doors and windows later. But you'll be all right, okay? Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just received word that the President has called a meeting of the Cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the Presidential Cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI, the Joint Chiefs, behind closed doors. White House spokesman says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch we just received in our newsroom. The latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. All radio and television stations have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and television and to stay indoors at all times. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell us to advise citizens who are seeking shelter to report to local schools, churches, government buildings, and emergency facilities for refuge from the wholesale murders which are apparently engulfing the eastern third of the nation. If you are not indoors, for God's sake, get off the streets. If you're inside, lock your doors and windows up tight. Civil defense officials in Cumberland, Maryland have told newsmen that murder victims show signs of having been partially devoured. Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims who looked as though they'd been torn apart. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating the latest bulletin that we just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland. Civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examinations of the victims' bodies show conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they killed. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these and other reports that we've been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified completely as is possible during this confused situation, confirm that it has happened. And it would appear that no one is safe in this wave of misery.
How long have you two been down there? I could have used some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How are we supposed to know what's going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Surely you must know what a girl's screaming sounds like.
Look,
Those things don't make that kind of noise. Anybody would know that somebody's in need of help.
look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear a scream, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things in the house after her.
And you wouldn't have come up and helped.
Well, if there weren't them.
Look, the cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door. That's all we had to protect. I have it fixed so it's boarded and locked from the inside. But out here you got all these windows. We would never know where they're going to hit next.
Now wait a minute. You just got finished telling me you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you could get your story straight, man.
Now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of chance when we lock into a safe place. We find a safe place. And you're telling me we've got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle down and...
Look, mister, we came up here, didn't we? We're here now. I suggest we go back down in the cellar. Before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. A cellar is the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood.
He has a wife and kids downstairs. The kids are hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we can fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You've got all these windows. All these windows there, you gotta make them all strong enough to keep those things out, huh?
I'm telling you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them, and I pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you those things turned over our car?
Hell, any 5 good men could do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or 6 or 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. Once they find out we're in here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door. That's all we have to protect. I haven't fixed those locks and boards from the inside. Out here, we wouldn't know where they were going to head next.
You have a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's only one door. I mean, if they did get in, we'd be done for.
That.
Look, we can get out of here if we have to. We've got windows to see what's going on outside. I mean, down there with no windows. If a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the safest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. Do you know how many's out there?
I don't know, maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. Well, I'm going back down in the cellar. You two better decide, because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to open it again no matter what happens.
Now wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I have made my decision. Now you make yours.
Now wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it down to the cellar if we have to. But if we decide to stay down there, we'll need things from up here. Let's at least consider this a while.
You box yourself in that cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Oh yeah, it looks to be about 8 or 10 of them.
There's more than there were. I think there's a lot out back too.
Harry? Harry! What's happening?
It's all right.
We've got to fix these boards.
They're crazy. Those things are going to be in every window and door in this place. We've got to get down to the cellar.
Go in your damn cell and get out of here.
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her. You keep your hands off her and everything else up here too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the door are part of what I'm fighting for. Now if you're going down in your cellar, just get it.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
Is this your house?
We've got a right.
You going down there with them?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I've got kids down there. I can't bring them up here. They can't take all the racket of those things smashing through the window.
But you're their father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that truck, that's your business. However, I'm not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kids up there. Old man is so stupid. Now get the hell down in your cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm the boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help we could.
With my help.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
Oh, you're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
Go on. It's all right. If we stick together, man, we can fix stuff real good. Mr. Cooper, I think we'd be a lot better off if the 3 of us were working together.
Hey, kid.
He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
Oh, we're safe now. Let's board it up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there. Let them. There's 2 other people up there, a man and a woman.
You heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Are they all right?
I don't know. They feel warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay up there.
Too many ways those monsters can get in there. Well, we'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them down here.
Because that's what's important, isn't it?
What?
For you to be right and everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anybody out there even know why we're getting attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's happening everywhere. Say it's some kind of mass murder. And the radio said to stay in...
The radio?
There's a radio upstairs. I heard the news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs, and you boarded us in down here.
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere. And the radio said to find a safe place to hide.
Harry? Unboard that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry! That radio is at least some sort of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us, and they'll tell us what to do. How are we supposed to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? Look, we might enjoy living together, but dying together is going to solve it.
Mr. Cooper, that kind of television set upstairs.
Let's go on. Tom?
Yeah?
If Judy would come down here, Harry and I can come up.
Okay, yeah. Will you do it? I can't. Look, honey, nothing's gonna get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me. Okay, open up. I'll take good care of it, Helen. They're all I have. Why don't you go upstairs now?
Thank you, Judy.
Her brother was killed.
Hey, give me a hand with this thing.
I gotta go help out this television.
Okay. Hey, no, don't be scared of me. I'm Helen Cooper. I'm Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. Look at all these weak spots.
Why don't you do something to help?
I can't even see anything. There must be 15 million of those things out there. That's how good these windows are.
There's a socket over here.
Drag that table over here. Now you better pay attention to this. I don't want anybody's life in my hands. I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. You stay up here, you take orders from me. That includes leaving that girl alone.
It's on. It's on.
There's no sound. Go on, play with the rabbit hands. Play with the rabbit hands. Shut up!
A wave of murder, which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation, is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted these eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word just arriving. We interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from the National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports of funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television were advising people to stay indoors, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation is now changed, and we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical attention, and protection by National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible. In connection, an emergency meeting was called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference by the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earthbound emergency? So far, all presented on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Dr. Grimes, your entire staff I know has been working very hard to find some solutions to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers, but first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
Is there a connection between the radiation from the Venus probe and the recent epidemic of murder?
Well, the Venus probe did carry an unusual amount of radiation, certainly enough to cause mutations. At the university in the cold room, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime earlier this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move. Any dead body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death then can the body become reactivated?
We don't know for sure. It could be a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
No, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried out to the streets and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them in gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forgo the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
It's obvious we have to try to get out of here. See, we have a truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked. How are you going to get over that pump?
Willard! It just said Willard! That's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area? You from around here?
Me and Judy are from around here. We were on our way down to the lake when Judy had a radio with the first reports about this. We knew the old house was here, but when we came in, the lady was already dead on the stairs. And these other people came, and so we went down to the basement, and we put a board on the door. And it was pretty strong.
It's said that the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get help for the girls.
Forget it, it's at least a month.
How bad is your kid or your kids?
Well, they're.
Look, you go tell Judy. Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here. You stay with the kids, okay?
Did they ask for me?
They haven't.
I just don't understand. Girls? Girls! It's mommy!
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
Look, I need you to go and find some bedspreads or sheets to tear up in small strips, okay?
I'll see what I can find.
We need some bottles or jars for Molotov cocktails to hold them off while we try to escape.
There's a can of Pharisee and some bottles out in the cellar.
There's also a ring. Casey, toss the cocktails from the window upstairs. Meanwhile, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas, then come back for the rest of the people. But that's gonna leave a door someplace. Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. We'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. Meanwhile, the rest of you can hold up in here.
There's a key on here that's linked to the gas pump.
I'm not really used to that truck. I found it at base.
I can handle that truck, no sweat.
You're right then. You and I will go. We'll put together whatever lumber we can find behind the cellar door. You can toss the cocktails from the window upstairs. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back in the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck, okay? Now let's move it.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? You have work to do, honey. You have to move. Are you sure about the phone? The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message. If only I could call the folks. They thought I'd be so worried about us. Everything's gonna be alright. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there. I know. Are you sure we're doing the right thing? What about getting out of here? Yeah, that's what the television said to do. We've got to get to a rescue station. I don't know. Come on, honey. You're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now. Why do you have to go out there? Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I know how to handle that pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff. But we're safe in here. But for how long, honey? Sure, we're safe now, but there's going to be more and more of those things. I don't know. Listen, remember when we had that big flood? Remember how hard it was for us to convince you it was right to leave? Remember? Remember we had to go to Willard then? This isn't just a passing thing, honey. This isn't just a wind passing through. We've got to do something. And fast. I just don't want you to go, that's all. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, I sure could use that more. I've got work to do, honey. And you.
We gotta get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right, you have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we all get back. Then we can all leave.
Yes, I'd like to leave.
Good luck. Ready upstairs? Yeah. All right, toss them. Go on, go ahead.
I'm going with him.
Get down in the cellar.
No!
Hey, the truck's on fire. Get away from the pump. Get away from the pump now.
Harry! Oh my God, Harry!
Get back in the cellar. Cooper, let me in. Come on, Cooper, open up. Come on, let me in. I ought to take you out there and beat you to those things!
Is it 11 o'clock yet? The news bulletin said there would be another alert at 11 o'clock.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's not too very long. 10 minutes, and then we can leave. It's 10 minutes to 11.
You know anything about this area at all? Is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said that you had a car turned over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
I don't know. It seems pretty far. It seems like your van about a mile.
How could we possibly get away from here?
Johnny has the keys. Johnny has the keys.
You gotta carry those children through a mile? For a mile through an army of those things out there? I can carry the kids. What's wrong with them? How'd they get hurt?
One of those things grabbed them and,
Bit them on the arm?
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of diseases those things carry? Are they conscious?
Barely.
They can't even walk. They're too weak. Well, one of us can try and get to the car. You gotta turn it over all by yourself?
You won't be able to start it. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know that, but where is it? Good Lord.
This is Bill Bardo, WICL TV 11 News, coming to you live. At this hour, officials report the level of mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So as long as this situation remains, government spokesman warns that the dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis from whatever cause will come back to life to seek human victims, unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. All law enforcement and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding groups.
Hey, make sure you put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want to get nothing here.
The survival command center at the Pentagon has been disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of the ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is to kill the brain and kill the ghoul. Butler County Sheriff Conor McClendon is now just returning from conducting a search and destroy operations against the ghouls. Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking pretty good.
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today, right in this area. Those last 3 we caught were trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There weren't though. We heard them making all kinds of noise. We came over, beat them off, and blasted them down.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You want to get on the other side of the road over there? Get the dogs and go check out that pole barn.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch, beat them, burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take to get this situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they still moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Chief, do you think you'd be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we really don't know. We know we'll be in for most of the night, probably in the early morning. We're working our way from Woodward and we're hoping to team up with the National Guard over there. And then we'll be able to get a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Bardo, WICL News.
Is the fuse box in the cellar? I don't know. No, it isn't the fuse. The power lines are down.
Kevin, you have to really make that light go down so she knows to say uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. I lost the thing. Good to know.
I have got to get that guy.
Haven't you had enough?
2 men are already dead on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Oh my God! Harry! Harry, help me! Help!
You didn't help me. Come on, move. Come on, stand here now, huh? Oh, get down in the cellar. Get down in the cellar.
Girls! Girls! Girls, it's Mommy! Hey! Hey, girls! Girls?
Johnny! Johnny!
Where did the zombies go?